Hi, I'm Ben. Welcome back to my channel. I don't normally do a Booker shortlist reaction video because by this point I've talked about the books so many times that I find I start to repeat myself, and that bores me, so Lord knows how you feel about it. I was going to do just a quick community post with my high-level thoughts on the shortlist, but as I was noting that down, I realised I had a little bit more to say and share, and so I decided to make this a video. I do hope that this is going to be a super duper quick video though, but who knows, I might get carried away and this could end up being 20 minutes long, but fingers crossed it doesn't. But yes, the shortlist has been announced. It was a few days ago now, and the books that made the cut are Audition by Katie Kitamura, Flashlight by Susan Choi, The Land in Winter by Andrew Miller, The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny by Kiran Desai, which I still need to finish, The Rest of Our Lives by Ben Markovits, and Flesh by David Szalay, which I read digitally, so I don't have a physical copy of that. And I was tempted to get one, but I think I much prefer the upcoming paperback edition that's going to be released, so I think I'll put that cover here instead. And I think it's pretty beaut. So if I do buy a copy eventually, I'll make sure I wait until that paperback is released. I guess the first thing I want to mention is that I was very excited to go along to the shortlist announcement event in person at Royal Festival Hall in London. And it was a ticketed event that anyone could go to. It was open to the public, but I was very delighted to receive an invitation from the Booker Prizes. And it was a really great event. It was like sitting in on a judges meeting, and they all spoke incredibly eloquently about the judging process and the books. And as they talked about each one of the shortlisted books, because the shortlist announcement was about halfway through the event. So the first half, they were talking about the process, and we had some readings from the Booker archive. Then they announced the shortlist. Then they talked about the shortlisted novels. And as they did, I found myself just like nodding along in agreement and like, duh, obviously this book deserves its place on the shortlist. It was just a very nice atmosphere, a very nice place to talk about books, hear about the books on this specific list, and I really loved it. Here's a photo of the setup on stage, which I know looks incredibly professional, but actually I just took it on my phone and happened to capture all of the judges looking great. It was really lovely to see some other bookish creators. I spent some nice time chatting with Eric Carl Anderson about our hopes for the shortlist beforehand and then what we thought about it afterwards. But it was so busy and the space was so big that I sadly missed out on meeting a bunch of people that I was hoping to see in person for the first time. Simon Savage, I'm looking at you. But yeah, there were loads of people there and it was just an awesome atmosphere. I do just want to take a moment to thank any of you who are watching now who came up and said hi. I don't think it will ever not be weird to be recognised in public and to be reminded that you guys actually spend time watching me yap on about books and book prizes. But I suppose if that's going to happen anywhere, it's going to be a Booker Prize event. But yeah, thank you so much. You really made my day. This was the first time that the Booker has put on this event, and I really hope they do it again because I absolutely loved it, even though I'd had the longest day in history, which involved standing the entire way on the train from Bristol to London, and I had the worst headache, but it was still, despite all of that, a wonderful, wonderful time. So what do I think about the shortlist? Well, in short, I really like it. Only two of these were on my personal shortlist, which were Flashlight and The Land in Winter, but I did definitely enjoy all of these books, of course, bearing in mind the fact that I still haven't finished the Kiran Desai, but I gave 4 stars or more to my entire top 9 in my ranking, and all of these books that have made it to the shortlist were inside my top 9. None of the books that I didn't really jive with were included, so I'm pretty happy with the shortlist. In my prediction of what I thought the judges would include, I actually had 4 of these books, but the 2 I was most certain about, which were Seascraper and Endling, those were the 2 that missed out. I think those 2 not making it and The Rest of Our Lives making it were the biggest surprises of the evening. And I did also kind of expect that we'd only get one of the 2 long books in the shortlist, but we did end up with both Flashlight and The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny. So my condolences to you if you were going to join in at the shortlist stage thinking that maybe you were going to be able to skip some of the big chunksters. They are both in there. But yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty expected list and a solid one too. I am sad that Seascraper has missed out. It's such an easy book to love. It's so vivid and richly atmospheric. And after the announcement, the Booker Instagram account actually trolled one of the comments I'd left on their post. But maybe it is more conventional or straightforward a book than the judges are looking for. I don't know, really. It's hard to say. They didn't talk about why they left out the books that they left out. They talked mainly just about why they included the books they did. Regardless, I think Seascraper has found a very supportive audience among Booker readers this year, so hopefully it will continue to be a success despite the fact that it hasn't reached the shortlist. When I look at the shortlist they have put together, though, it tells me a few things about these judges. So first, it seems to me like they're trying to give us a real smorgasbord of all the different ways that literature can be great. There is a huge amount of variety here in terms of execution. So we've got like the densest writing on the list, which is The Loneliness of Sonia and Sunny. We've got the most spare writing on the list in Flesh. We've got also what I think is just the technically best writing here in The Land in Winter. And we have like the most structurally inventive and surprising novel, which is Audition. That variety feels very curated to me. I personally don't mind that. I think any list of books is essentially a set of opinions, and you can put together those opinions in any way that feels correct to you. I know some people watching would prefer it to be judged just in terms of what's the best thing here, not what's the best group of things when you put them together. And I think that's a valid perspective, but I don't mind, really. Second, I think that the judges are rewarding stylish prose. I think all of these books have some flair in their writing, some really intentional methods of writing that they're deploying. Like even the Ben Markovits novel, which I know lots of people didn't get on with, it has this warmth that I think is very hard to achieve, especially when your protagonist is so infuriatingly passive. Like he's quite a difficult character to get on side with, and I did get on side with him partly because of the warmth in his voice. So I think that's a thread I see through this shortlist. Finally, I think the judges seem very interested in the many dysfunctions of masculinity and both what causes those dysfunctions, but also the results of them. It seems like almost all of the most irritating or infuriating male characters made the shortlist, so I guess congratulations to them. You might be wondering, what is my winner at this stage? And I guess based on my long list ranking, that would be Flashlight. But I do have to say that The Land in Winter is really growing on me more and more the longer I sit with it, and I could see it overtaking as my frontrunner at some point. I don't know. There's a few months to go before the winner is announced. And yeah, we'll see how my feelings change. Those are my high-level thoughts. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments. Do let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit like. And if you'd like to see more from me, then hit subscribe. But until next time, toodles.